So what's up, everybody? Welcome to Free Throw Fridays. I'm Coach Kenya. I'm here with Wayno. We're still quarantining, right?
Yes, yes, we are. Yes, we are. Doing okay, doing due to all the circumstances what's going on in the world. We still trying to take our time out to, share, to educate, what I mean, and work with the people, give out the information. And basically this platform was created, is basically a shared group, and it changes bi-weekly. I change this weekly. The whole purpose of me starting free throws was me trying to figure something out to do on Instagram with every Tuesday and Thursday. And I did it 3 years ago, and I just brought it back during quarantine. So, I just wanted to use my platform and use my influence to, connect people and share stories, share information so that we all can get a little bit further in life.
For sure. And there's a lot going on in the world, to say the least. I just want to just pay respects to, George Floyd and his family and everybody who's really just been participating in the movement to create change. Everybody's voice is appreciated, and we all have to really band together to make sure that we can really break these systematic things that are going on in the world, because everybody deserves a chance, and we should be using our platforms to, make sure people have that.
Right, absolutely. This is online mentorship, everybody. Online mentorship.
Yeah, for sure. And we have a very special guest with us today, the lovely lady. Hi, Renny. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. So I want to let you know you're our first female guest on a free throw. I'm really excited about that, because up until the last 8 weeks or so, it's only been me. And when we've had some free throwers who have come on, but you're our first female mentor. So we're excited to have you here today with us, and we appreciate your time.
Yes,
I'm excited. I think that's dope. First female though.
You are. That's it is dope.
Yeah, your first female guest for sure.
Yeah. So Renny, I just want to get into a little bit of your story, because we all have one. And like I said, Wayno was saying, this is an opportunity for us to just learn from people's stories and their experiences. So if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up in music, that would be dope.
Okay, my name is Renny. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, really small place. Before music, I was in the clubs like a lot of girls who are pursuing the industry now. But the difference is, before I was in the clubs, I was already affiliated and interested in doing music. But out that way for me to take that route at that time. So, and I appreciate that it didn't, because being in the clubs made me prepared for what comes with this industry in a way. As far as getting to where I've gotten now, when I finally decided I wanted to change where I was at in life, I needed to get out of the position that I was in. I felt like I couldn't work a job, because I wouldn't care enough to get up and want to go to work every day. And this was something that I could have pursued before, and I had another opportunity to do it. So I was like, if I'm going to leave this fast money over here, whether I like it or not, it got to be something that's going to motivate me to stay and really push through with it. And that was music. And I'm glad that I did it.
Absolutely. So were there any mentors that you look to, throughout your journey, that really kind of helped you get established and get your footing in the business?
I wouldn't mentors. I had a friendship with a promoter. A promoter from Columbia. But we had a friendship from what I was doing before. So he helped me a lot with my bookings and everything before I started doing music. And he was really the person who pushed me to go back to doing music when I told him I was tired of dancing. And he was just like, why don't you really just do it and take it for real? Be serious this time. And, if it wasn't for him really being behind me, we were really winging it. We really didn't know what we was doing as far as the industry or how to approach it or anything, but we saw ways to maneuver, and we kind of just tried all of them. It was trial and error. And his name is Cash. His handle is Mogul Mindset. So he really we really thugged it out together to get to where I am.
That's dope. Yeah, that's really dope. It's most times, when people ask us these questions about getting into the industry, even mine, I don't have a conventional story of how I got in either. It really comes from the muscle. It really comes from just continuously trying and not being afraid to fail, and not being you know, that when you do fail, being able to assess your mistakes and work forward. So, you know, that's a story, and that's what, you know, you definitely here for. So we definitely want to like start bringing some people on so they could ask some questions. You know, that's a
1,000%.
little start.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna just start with one of the people that were on time. I honor timeliness. I think it was.
I'll tell you who it was. Let me see.
Oh, tell me who it was. I can't remember. It was a tie between Keon and God. Who was it?
I don't know. I think he stepped away from his shit. I don't know.
All right, cool. So listen, I'm gonna go with. I think it was Keon was one of the. He was the second to first person on. So Keon, I'm just going to unmute you. So you should be unmuted now, I think. There we go. We can hear you. So give us your handle, your Instagram handle first.
My Instagram handle is Soup Holistic Fit. So Soup Holistic Fit. That's my Instagram handle. And
then, where are you from?
I'm from Trinidad. That's the southernmost Caribbean island.
And we're happy to have you here all the way from Trinidad. That's crazy dope. We love the whole international vibe that we've been having on the free throws. So give us your question. What's your question?
So I'll start my question off kind of with a very short story. In the book Cash Flow Quadrant, it talks about McDonald's. It doesn't have the best burger. It doesn't have the best fries. But because they have a system in place, once you could afford a McDonald's, you will be successful because they have a systematic way of doing things. So as an entrepreneur, how do you go about systemizing your business so that you can follow a pattern, maybe tweak it as you go along, but at least you have a guideline or you have a pattern to follow so that you'll be successful?
That's a great question. Do you want to take that first?
Yeah, I mean, Renny, you want to jump in, Renny? I'll follow you up.
Well, my answer is not going to be like how, because I don't approach anything looking for a system. I approach a lot of things like an artist. Like one day it might be this way and the next day it might be that. It's more of my label's job to be the system. So I can't really answer that question because I don't approach how I need to do what I need to do in that way. I express myself however I'm feeling. It's never the same.
Okay.
But I do know in anything you have to be consistent, period.
So what I would say is, and for me, that question kind of spoke to me only because, you know, me having a management company, what I used to do was I was so fearful of people messing up that I would take on every single task. But taking on every single task and being scared to delegate kind of makes it tough on you. So what I learned was, you know, I didn't know that there was a difference between a manager and a role manager and a business manager and a day-to-day manager. So what I did was I was able to start delegating tasks. And once I was able to build that system and that infrastructure, I was able to get more clients because it's like, okay, I know what I can do on the business side, but then I have people who they do the day-to-day. I don't have time to do day-to-day because I'm so busy, but I can always pick up a phone. I can always answer email, etc. So I built that system that way. And I really based my system, how I built my system off of basketball. Like I use sports to kind of understand everything in life and like just knowing basketball, like everybody has a role, like even down. That's why when a team, no matter if it's basketball, or even baseball or football, when a franchise wins a championship, everybody gets some sort of win, some sort of ring, you know, because it takes everybody contributing in order for the team to win. So I would say, like, you know, in order to put a system in place, you gotta put yourself out there and see if you're making the right decision in any business that you're trying to start. Then after that, you basically gotta know your strengths and your weaknesses. You know, if there are weaknesses, then you need to put people who have those strengths around you so that they can subside. Like you don't want it to be all on one side and then it's down on this side. You want to kind of even it out. So I think, you know, in order to build a system, you just got to be comfortable with delegating tasks as an entrepreneur, you know?
Keon, have you ever heard of a gentleman by the name of Ray Kroc?
Yes.
So, you know, he was the guy that bought out the McDonald's brothers. He basically saw the system that they had, and he figured out a way to make it more efficient. And then he actually bought out the brand and everything, and then set up the whole franchise model, right? So just kind of going back to that and referencing it, I think there's a way in business to be systematic, not where it's so like, you know, pre-programmed, but you have a system in place. So for example, you have a fitness business, right?
Correct.
So you have a fitness business, and then what is your goal with the fitness business eventually? Like, what are you trying to grow it to?
That's a good question.
Here's what I'll say first. The first step in order to get any kind of system in place is I think you just need to figure out what your end goal is going to be first. Because once you have the end goal in place, then you're going to be able to kind of back into that plan, right? So if you know where you want to end up, that will help you figure out how you need to start. So I'll just give you an example. Like, say, for example, you're looking to build some sort of virtual fitness company. You know, maybe right now it's you need to, you know, figure out what trends are in place, you know, figure out what others instructors are doing in that place right now in that space in terms of how they're doing their classes. And then you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? Like if you find a system similar to what Ray Kroc did that's working for somebody in the virtual fitness space that you can emulate or kind of flip and make it your own, that people take ideas all the time. It's not the person that has the idea necessarily, it's the person who's going to take it and reinvent it and make it work for themselves. So I think if you are able to go and identify something that's already working, a system that's in place, and flip it and make it your own, that'll be a good way of getting you to whatever end goal it is that you desire. Because that's all Ray Kroc did, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, execution is key. So, you know,
yeah. So systems are good. Yeah, systems are good. Is you just got to know where you're going with it. Yeah. Good. So does that answer your question or help you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, great. So listen, you're more than welcome to stick around for the conversation. We're happy that you're here. I'm just going to mute you back, and then I'm going to go to the next person, which I think was Dominique. I'm going to unmute you. All right.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
We had Dominique here before, right?
We did. We have.
Yeah.
Yep. And since then, you've started your podcast.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I want to thank y'all for that conversation some weeks ago. You know, just explaining like if you got a vision, just go ahead and do it. So with my extra time outside of work, you know, having to stay in the house, I just was like, yo, I need something to do. I can't go to the gym and hoop, can't go outside. So we got a phone, so
right.
You're
making it happen.
Awesome.
You're making it happen.
Up, man?
So you have another question for us today?
Yeah. I had a question. Oh, and I'm Dominique. I'm also from Columbia, South Carolina as well. So my question was, when dealing with other people in the music industry and conducting business over the internet and phone, outside of the obvious, what are some red flags that aspiring artists, business labels, managers, and producers should pay attention to when trying to start whatever they desire from their own business? There's a lot of scamming going on, and it makes it hard for people that aren't scamming. You know, like I said, in the last time I was here, I worked for a media group where we help artists build their brand, you know, with logos, Spotify placement, you know, beat kits and stuff like that. And I talk to artists and they think I'm scamming. And I'm like, yo, we got a website. I got a playlist. I can put your song on the playlist right now and show you I'm not scamming. But what do you think are some red flags for artists to try to like maneuver around that?
For the artist to maneuver around getting scammed?
Or yeah, like what are some things outside of like the obvious, you know, people that may have like one follower and they're following 10,000 and
yeah,
no profile picture, or
I mean, I think, and just with everybody, it comes with presentation. You know what I mean? Like it's all about presentation. It's like how's it being delivered? You know, so like for on your side, I say like, you know, if it's a person who's a little skeptical of you, you got to look at how your brand is being presented, and not that it's being presented negatively. It's just that, you know, if it's a person's first time, the idea is to keep them in the room and to get the sale. So what are the steps or the measures you're taking in conversation to secure that? I think that's the biggest thing. You know, if you're trying to get more clients and they're a little bit skeptical, you got to look at, you know, maybe the artwork might look a little janky. You know what I mean? Maybe you could use work on, you could use help on artwork. Maybe you could use help on digital deliverables. You know, maybe it takes the people that you work with doing a little online testimony for 15 seconds, you know, just so that you can legitimize your business to show that you actually do what you say you're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would have a question for Renny. Renny, you're an artist, right? So what do you think is the best approach someone should take if they were going to approach you with something like that?
If I'm going to give my red flags first, what I don't like. I don't like anybody who will try to do business with me through DMs, because if you're a legitimate business, if you really like do what you say you do, you know how to approach business. And I don't ever feel like social media is the proper way to approach unless we already have a rapport with one another. So I have contact information in the right people delegated to do those things in my bio. You look at my profile before you come. So if it's really about business, I feel like people who really are doing what they say they're doing go about it the proper way. So anything outside of that, I don't acknowledge it. That's a red flag for me. Anything automatically talking about money, I stay away from that. You know, it's just even if you try to discuss business through social medias, like it shouldn't go straight to money. It shouldn't go straight to, oh, I can get you this. Like, tell me about your business first. Show me what it is that you do. Like, I feel like the presentation kind of has to be the same way you would take a business plan to a bank to ask for a loan.
Right. Renny, I'm so happy that you said that. I'm so happy that you said that, because so many artists, they don't understand that, like, you know, when they're doing business, whether you're signed to a label or not, this is your livelihood. Like, your art is your livelihood. And, you know, this is what's going to take care of you, your family for years to come. So when you walk into a bank and you're asking for a loan, whether it's for a business or a home, you got to have some ROI. You got to have some credit, some collateral, something that shows you, something that legitimizes you. And I think, you know, I'm happy that you said a thing about the bank, because maybe, Dominique, you could take that as a metaphor. And what's your collateral, or like, what can you build to kind of show, you know, as opposed to just telling them through a DM? You know, maybe it's a certain, like I said, you might want to think about getting testimonials from people you work with, or getting some surveys just so that you can show. Because, you know, you go to most, like, think about this, when you go to like a weight loss website or something, what do they have? Like, testimonials from people, yo, this actually worked. And you're gonna identify with the person that most likely looks like you, sounds like you, or seems like they come from where you come from. So I think, like, you know, if you could figure out a way to bridge that gap, you'll have a little bit more effectiveness.
Can I add something to one thing that I do? Like, if I am interested in something, or somebody has ran something by me and I'm considering it, even if it's like through people who work for me, I go look at the social medias and I check the tag post. I go look at the people who actually have used your services, whatever the case may be, who are actually, and I can tell, like, I can tell the difference between a paid promotion, like, and a real, I really use this, it really worked. People like to see real reviews, and I check comments. I look in comments to see if somebody's saying, oh, you blocked me from this page, or I check all of that, and I know I'm not the only person who does it. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Like, maybe you can have like people who have worked with you before, like, make sure they tag you in the post if they showing, you know, how you've worked with them or whatever. It ain't even got to be promo, just a tagged post.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So is that helpful?
Yeah, it's helpful. I appreciate that.
Cool. Yeah. So you're welcome to stick around for the rest of the conversation. All right. I'm just going to mute you, and we're going to move on to the next person.
And tag your podcast in the chat so people.
Oh, yeah. Tag your podcast in the chat so we can follow your podcast. All right, cool. Alexander, I'm gonna unmute you. You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. So give us your handle first and then your question.
Okay, how y'all doing? I'm Alexander the. You can call me. It's just Alexander the, ALXVNDRTHA, Instagram and Twitter, and I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. So I guess my question would be, as an independent artist, what are some of the basic but critical tools, such as like number of fans, followers, a manager, yada yada, or people who work for you, you would say that an artist needs before considering relocation from their hometown to expand their brand into another city or into one of the most popular industry cities?
Renny, you want to add to this one? Because I know you kind of moved around a bit, right?
Yeah, but was you asking how many people did you need working for?
Well, no, I mean, I was just trying to say, like
I don't feel like
wrong.
want to relocate as an artist. You know when you've outgrown your environment. You know when you've, maxed out and reached the peak and touched every, thing that you can touch there. That's a personal decision. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter about any of that, because you could stay home and still get more streams or whatever the case may be, just depending on your environment and how what you see for yourself. I always feel like a relocation, like I'm relocating right now. I'm not relocating because, I've outgrown home or anything like that, because my home really does support me a lot. I'm relocating because I feel like the things that I need access to are easier to gain access there for me to go further. That's a personal decision I made. It didn't matter about if I moved off followers, I would have relocated a long time ago.
I think from my side, I guess it would be more as like an artist who's looking for more support than they're getting from home. Maybe trying to, I don't know, necessarily say start over, but you know what I'm saying? Just like try to.
I would say, so Al, I would tell you this. The good thing about, all these different platforms that we have, like, SoundCloud and YouTube, which are like the free ones, and you get into the Spotify's and everything else, you got to really pay attention to your demographics. While you might not be getting that love you feel at home, like you might be popping in Japan and have no idea. Like I was managing an artist, and we was popping in the city in New York, but we went to Japan on the other side of the world, and we had 2 sold out shows. And that just came from us, like, of course, me having a couple of connections over there, but it really came from us like paying attention to the markets that we were hottest in. You can if you upload a song and it has, let's say, 5,000 plays, which is not, it's not all the plays in the world, or 1,000 plays, which is not all the plays in the world. You might have 110 different cities, so you can start buying ads or working with a digital team that could kind of focus you in the cities that you're most popular in. And it's like, for up and coming artists, like the ones that actually do get a situation later on, they kind of run through this process themselves. Like, with Renny coming from South Carolina, already that's a tough market to come from. I actually signed the artist from South Carolina, PG Rock, and he's when people seen him align with me, they was just so excited about it. But now, okay, we got SC, people showing love there. How do we transition that to New York? And not just him being co-signed by me, like
Right.
how can I put him in front of the right face? And that comes with having a team as well. That's why I said, like the brother before was asking about structure and systems. I think that's why it's important to have people play their roles before they even are roles. Everybody can't be the hype man. Everybody can't be the guy that's going to be, or girl that's going to be featured on your records. They might need to be the assistant. They might need to be the photographer. You got to look at yourself as an artist as being a brand, no different than a New York Sports Club or a Walmart. You know what I mean? You got to have that mindset to shoot as far as you can. And I think that comes with, just understanding who's actually checking for you and building on that one by one, bit by bit.
Mm-hmm.
No problem, man. No problem. Thank you.
Good. So you good?
Yeah, that helps. Thank you.
Great, great. So, you know, all right, go ahead, Renny.
Okay, so if you look at my social medias, you would think that I don't care about, like, a lot of people think I don't pay attention to the little stuff. I pay attention to it, every little thing. I check my insights every day. I see what cities I'm looked at in the most. I check, you know, where I'm not being looked at. You know, all of that stuff matter. And, you know, you can promote yourself. I buy my own promos sometimes on Instagram. Like, you have to, and you have to put them in the cities that you want to be in. You have to put them in the areas you want to be in, or you already tapped into and you want to grow there. Like, you really, when it comes to stuff like that, you have to remember, as an artist, nobody gonna go harder for you than you are. Nobody gonna pay more attention to what's going on than you are. I might have a team now, but I'm still very hands-on, and I'm very aware of what's going on and what direction I'm in. So I think that's another big part of deciding about relocating and things like that, because sometimes you can touch those places without touching those places.
Right.
Good point. All right, cool. So you're welcome to stick around. We appreciate you coming through. We're gonna move on to the next person, which is Jaleel. Is it Jaleel? Am I saying your name right? And I think you were first, so I apologize if you were one of the first people, because now it's coming back.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
It's all right.
What's up, Jaleel? How you doing?
Good. I'm doing good. I would first like to thank both of y'all for letting me be on here and be able to learn from y'all and all that. But I was just wondering if there was a limit to, like, how many questions we could ask, you know?
Well, we're going to start with one, right? And
Okay.
then if we can, you know, we get through what we need to get through, and there's some more time, we definitely, we can revisit. So we'll start with the
Okay.
first one. Mm-hmm.
All right. So my question is really for Wayno, because I'm more interested on, like, getting into music, but on the, like, the industry, like the A&R and management side of things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So my first question would be, if you were trying to get into the A&R management business, like, now, because I've heard your story and everything, and I've been a big fan of you, like, the mail office thing, right? Like, do you think that the mail room, do you think that an opportunity like that would be available for somebody like me in 2020, you know?
I don't know how that works right
Yeah.
now. I mean, when I got into the game, man, like, I'm about to be 38 this year, bro. Like, I got into the mailroom at 18. You know what I'm saying? This is a eon ago. So, you know, I think you got to really find your way, not based on a story you previously heard. I'll say that the easiest, not easy, because nothing worth having is easy. I want to erase that. You know, a lot of people always say easier said than done. Nothing that we hold on to is easy for us to have, whether that be a relationship, money, like everything that we work hard for, we cherish. So let's just state that first. I'll say that the best way for you to get in right now is to find an artist that is on the up and up and try to break them into the game. And, you know, like Renny was saying earlier with, you know, paying for social ads and, you know, doing her own due diligence as to how to push herself as a manager. All you really did to do is to manage the situation and create opportunity. You know, I think that's the biggest thing you got to look for if you want to get in the game. Because honestly, man, trust, there's tons of people that come every day that's like, yo, I'm passionate, I love music, this is what I want to do. Can I have a job? And that's not enough. You know, you really got to give a person a reason why they should mess with you. And, you know, I wish it was truly based on passion and love for the game and all of that and how hard you would dedicate yourself, but it's not.
You got to show somebody. You got to back it up. You got to put the time in. Yeah.
I mean, even for myself, you know, I was in the game and then I fell out and I tried to get a job again and I couldn't. So the only way I got back in was managing the artist and breaking that artist and making that artist into something. And that's how I got, you know, revamped my career. So I think,
Sherry
you know,
Bryant, right?
No, well, Shari was me and Shari worked at Rockefeller together when we was teenagers, you know, and I didn't work with her again. That's we're really close. We got a relationship for 20 years. We haven't worked together again, but like we just have a long relationship. And I think like that's another thing, like building relationships on a ground level. That's what's really gonna get you to where you need to be. Because I mean, there's a kid that I was talking to on Twitter every day in 2011. This kid graduates from college, moves to Atlanta, meets Future, and becomes Metro Boomin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I'm
it's
18
like,
right now.
you 18, man, and you got a hell of a head start, because at 18 I didn't have like these outlets or things or the opportunity to talk to people, you know,
Like you.
like myself, or even like Renny or Kenya. You know, I didn't have people that could advise me. So I think just take down notes, man, and understand
I
that
got a
even though
lot right here.
well, look, even though that you're 18, like you got so long to go. You got a long way to go. So don't like try to rush it. Just take your time.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure, we're okay on time. Wayno's looking at me like, bruh.
Nah, that's okay.
I'm sorry. How, like, what would you say some steps would be to build that reputation? You know, jumping straight into the game.
I mean, building a reputation. Your reputation is built on who you are first and foremost. Being a person of your word. You know, being on time. I think that for you being 18, you should really look into internships. Like you should really look into internships, and it doesn't necessarily have to be at a major label. It could be at a radio station. It could be, you know, at any type of ground level point of getting into entertainment. You know, I think like you get in, and the way entertainment has kind of evolved, everything kind of cross promotes. Like we never, you watched what is that what's that documentary, the Last Dance with Michael Jordan? Rappers wasn't really hanging out too much with ball players at that time. Now rapping basketball is almost one of the same. So you might need to
the John Mayer Lil Baby Spotify playlist, like stuff like that, right?
Well, yeah, you just got to figure out. You got to figure out ways, and I think like for you being young, just look at everybody that's in the game, and you know, if you have access to them, figure out ways that you could bring them things that they're not already doing. You know, look at our artists and say, oh, such and such is doing this, and like Lil Uzi, like you might have a whole marketing idea for Lil Uzi, and just happen to see him in fucking Five Guys one day. You know what I'm saying? And you get a 10 or 15 seconds to give you a spill. So, you know, just stay creative and stay ambitious.
Good, very good. All right, so you good?
I had a couple more questions, but
yeah, we gotta keep it. We gotta keep it moving.
I'm sorry, man. We got a cap, but hold on. Right. You know, if we have a little time towards the end, we might be able to circle back. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, hold on. You're welcome. Okay, so your name's not there, but is it King's phone? All right, go ahead, sir.
He's on mute. You gotta take him on mute.
Yo.
How you doing?
Good, how y'all?
Hanging in there.
Good. My Instagram handle is @2 FLYKNG. That's 2 Block King. My question, my bro Atlas the Plug sent me to y'all. I'm an independent artist, and I got a project that's set to release in October. And I would like to know some of y'all tips for a rollout plan. You know, I want to be able to build up anticipation, and at the same time, not, you know, let everything play out already early, like, and let it be old by the time October gets here. I know I've given myself a very, very big time frame to work with. I just want to know y'all tips on rollout. What can I be doing from now until October to promote my album properly and build up enough momentum for October?
So I'd like to answer that question with a question to, I guess, Renny, with dropping one of your first projects, or just dropping singles for the first time, what were some of the tactics that you and your team took, you know, to kind of get the word out there coming from a small market?
I would say we didn't start as far out as like your time frame is, but really flooding my social media outlets, but not to the point where it's like the same thing over and over again. I had different, you know, video clips, different pictures, different, you know, I kept it very interactive. I would snippet some of the songs, like what I knew would maybe be a single, not the entire project. Releasing the cover, like maybe a month, 2 weeks before it's gonna come out, dropping the track list when it gets closer to the date. You know, things like that. Having some of these influencers or some people who really in the same market or lane that you in, you know, kind of hype it up for you. You know, you have to use everything that's accessible to you. You have to take advantage of those things. And you have to also know, as an independent artist, in order to grow bigger, you have to tap into other people's fan bases. But whatever you see yourself doing to grow with someone else in the same lane as you are, do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
it's like I study what's going on in the lane that I'm in. I study what's going on in the industry. I see how people are rolling out their projects. I pay attention to what works, what didn't work. You know, you really have to be aware of your surroundings as far as your, you know, job.
It's dope. And to add to Rennie's point, I would say you know, like she said, like look into your lane, you know, look into the type of music that you're creating. What has worked for you? What are some of the things that you've done to kind of excite people, you know, on the ground level? And build on that. I mentioned one time before that I had myself an event, and I really wasn't gonna make money. I had a clothing line, and I really wasn't gonna make money at this clothing line event that I was throwing, but I wanted to get the word out there. So what I did was I charged everybody who walked in a hashtag and a picture. You know, so in order to come into my event, you had to upload a picture in front of my step and repeat and hashtag, you know, my clothing line and tag my Instagram. And by the end of the night, I had tons of impressions. I had like, I think it was Smooth Magazine at the time. They reached out to me. A couple people wanted to interview me just based on what they kept seeing over social media. So you might want to take, you know, five of the people that strongly supporting you and just give them the challenge to get 5 more people to follow them into the type of music that you get. You know, like you got to turn your supporters into your street team almost, you know, your digital street team, you know, and the thing about the internet is like, you know, people who question if the world is flat or not, you know, if the world is flat or it's round, the internet makes the world flat because you could press a button and tomorrow see what's going on in Europe. Like we see in New Zealand what's going on right now. We see in Australia, all these different places what's going on. So again, like tap into your demos, look at your numbers, see what things are moving at. And, you know, I think because you have such a big window, because it's only June, make a little marketing budget for yourself. I mean, like grind it out and make a little marketing budget for yourself. That's what, July, August, September, October, that's 4 months. Let's say it takes you 1 month to get it together, make a budget within 1 month that you can use over the next 3 to kind of push yourself.
Cool. All right, you good?
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you too, man. Thanks for coming through.
Where you from, man?
Henderson, North Carolina.
Okay.
Nice.
Dope. Yeah, the Carolinas is coming up, man.
Yeah.
The Carolinas is coming up.
I think.
Thank you too. All right. So we're gonna go to Andre. Hi, Andre.
How you doing?
Good.
I appreciate y'all for having me on this platform. Shout out to you, Wayno. I do a podcast. I've been doing it since 2018, August. I got the shirt right here and stuff. My thing is growing the podcast, like subscribers wise. You feel what I'm saying? That's my only thing. You know what I mean? Like I go outside, network, I make relationships and everything. I had artists on my show. You know what I mean? I had Fabi on my show before he got like big and stuff like that. So, you know, so that's my only advice that like, I mean, like my only question I got, like, you know.
How you grow the subscriber base? Like how do you get more ears and eyes?
I'm good at the relationship wise, you know what I'm saying? But like just as far as the YouTube page I got, like whatever, I want to like find a way to grow that more.
Well, I think go ahead, Wayno.
No, go ahead, because I got an idea for them. But
well, no, I mean you go first. Go.
All right, so now I was just thinking of, you know, it'd be super ill as a promotional tool for a podcast. So you know how they make like and I tried to do this years ago with an artist I was managing. I tried to make like, you know how they got the Valentine's Day cards that you open and they kind of sing a song? Right? Imagine if you could make like, and I'm pretty sure you can, take an excerpt of your podcast and make like a greeting card.
Exactly.
Like make a greeting card. And of course, I know, you know, people are skeptical with the whole COVID shit and all of that. Yeah. I get it. You know, people might not want people passing shit around. But at the same time, that would be ill if you took, you know, maybe you said you have Fabio on your podcast, right?
Yeah.
If you could get like the best 15 seconds of something he said and put it into that and make a card out of that shit and just shit, man. Right now is the best time. Like, you know, well, I wouldn't just say the best time, but it's a lot of people that's outside. It's a lot of people that's outside in groups together. But I think that would be a greeting card that had, you know, a little bit of the podcast in it. You know, it's something different. That would make a person not necessarily just go and say, "Oh, I'm a subscribe," but that would make a person show another person
more interested in what's going on. Like,
yeah, and if you put your logo on the front of it,
right?
Put your it doesn't necessarily have to be Fabio. It could just be you saying something to have like your page in there where people could just click on it and go. One of the things I did when I used to manage Davies, one of the things I did was remember how when a dog goes missing, they put like a picture of the dog, or a person goes missing, they put the person in the picture and they leave like the phone number.
Yeah.
So what I did was I put a picture of Dave's project. It was called Black Rose, and I said I wrote like, "There's a problem if you haven't heard Black Rose by Dave East." Exactly. And I just left like download links on the paper, and I just cut them. And I went around neighborhoods and putting that shit up on the wall.
People don't even do that no more. People on the internet. See, that's
yeah,
crazy.
But what I did, and this was 2014, but what it did was, I don't even know if people actually went and listened to it because of that, but I know that they took pictures of it. You know what I mean? And they shared it. So you just got to think about ways to, create shock value without doing some Tekashi 6ix9ine shit to create some shock value. You know what I'm saying?
Boy. That's what's up, man. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback on Wayno's idea a little bit, what you could do is, because direct mail could be like a little pricey, you could do a digital e-card, right? Yeah. So it's the same concept. So basically what you're doing is you can buy email lists from pretty much anywhere. I mean, Ground Truth is a good place to buy email lists from. We sell email lists at our radio stations, and basically what you can do is you can target based on genre. So if you're looking to reach, people who are interested in hip hop, you can buy a whole email list of people who are interested in hip hop, and you could target market those people. So what Wayno was saying with like having that little audio clip in there, you could have a digital e-card with the audio clip right there, and then a click to subscribe button right to your podcast. And I've seen email marketing kind of went down a lot the last, I would say, 5 years, because I think people got really inundated with just getting a bunch of emails, but it's actually making a comeback, especially with COVID and especially with people working remotely and always in front of their email. So I would definitely say the idea for the card is great, and just maybe think about a digital version of it for now until you can, get the marketing dollars up to where you can do like a direct mail blast to people at their house. But I think that could create some efficiency for you. The other thing I was going to say too, as far as, subscriber base, we talk a lot on here about how artists can grow their music with digital, right? So a podcast works the same way. You still would buy ads, you still would target your core consumer who you wanted to reach with that content. It's the same strategy, right? So you want to be able to put some digital ads behind it to boost views, to boost, engagement. And that's also a good way to get real views and organically, you know what I'm saying? Without, doing the shady backhand stuff that some people do to get their views where they need to get.
The transition. Like say like a podcast, like longest I do like 2 hours, but now what I do now, like what Vlad do, he put the whole episode up. They make clips of each section of the episode, and people still watch that too. So I start doing that now, and I ain't gonna lie, like start getting a little better, more views on that.
Yeah, you gotta give people like little tablespoons of it. You can't give it to them the whole thing.
Joe Rogan does that as well. Joe Rogan does that as well. Like that's why, because his podcast is usually 2.5, 3 hours sometimes, but I watch and he has a clips page where you could just watch all the clips of like your favorite moments. But thank you, man. We appreciate you, brother, for real.
Good question. Go ahead, Renny.
Okay, like you were saying, like the 15 seconds. I feel like this is what I do. When I'm trying to get if I'm gonna release something on YouTube, or if I know I'm only dropping this song right now on a certain platform, I take all of my social media platforms or whatever I'm using, my handles, and I drive all of my traffic to where I want it to go. So if I'm posting, say like he said, like the best 15 seconds or something, or a cliffhanger, something what people are gonna want to say, what the fuck did you say? It was, what's going to happen. Post that and drive it to where you want them to go. And I would just keep doing that because that's how like I got a lot of my subscribers and everything. I wasn't even putting my music videos out yet. I was just doing vlogs, just trying to build up. But I drove most of my traffic from my Insta story, my page, to that link. Like if you like, don't give everything on everything at first.
Makes sense.
It definitely makes sense for real.
Yeah, just give them a little taste. You know.
Yeah, but man, keep striving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And keep building. Keep striving.
I'm sorry. What was the name of your podcast again?
Get in Tune podcast. Get in Tune.
Get in Tune. All right, cool.
Dope.
Well, listen, thanks for coming through for the free throw. You can stick around for sure if you'd like. We have, I think we're good. I think we got through everybody, right?
Yeah.
So, listen, we have like 3 minutes left. Okay. Jaleel, did you have one more question? You gotta make it super. You gotta make it super quick. Wayno's gonna be mad at me.
No, I'm not. Come on, let's do it, Jaleel.
Do you think the financial side of A&R management gets overlooked by people like me trying to get into it? You know, like the financial scheduling and everything like that.
What do you mean exactly?
Like time, like setting dates and stuff like that for artists.
To put projects out?
Yeah, or anything like that. Just like the number side of thing, you know?
Oh,
like,
you mean
I feel like as a young kid, like for me right now, it just feel like I'm from Utica, right? Utica, New York, and it feel like it's not nobody trying, like nowhere where I am trying to like interested in what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? Like everybody want to be a rapper and all that, and I just want to learn. You know, like I don't like it's not nowhere for me to learn.
Well, no, I mean it really is, man.
I watch
like
you
I said,
a lot,
man.
Though. Yeah, you. Yeah.
I appreciate that, but
she was on Complex with Star and all them.
Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Well, I'll say this, man. Like, you know, being from Utica, I don't think anybody knew or could have foreseen how successful Griselda was gonna be, and them being from Buffalo, New York. You know,
yeah, that's a big inspiration.
The thing is, this is like what I love about Westside Gunn is, you know, he's not trying to be in Gucci Mane's lane or Kevin Gates or you know what's his name? What's my nigga name? Benny the Butcher is not trying to be in Little Baby's lane, but he's having success. He's having success within his own right, and that's because they kind of emphasized on the category and built their brand. I think you could do the same thing as an A&R. You know, coming from Utica, of course, there's tons of rappers that rap. You know, find somebody there and just focus on them. You know, focus on them and build them up. And another thing that we didn't get a chance to really tap on today is leverage. You know, if you want to be an A&R, you want to be an artist, no matter what your profession may be in business, you would like to build the leverage so when you walk into rooms and you're having conversations, the conversation goes a little bit more in your favor because you're a little bit more self-sufficient. You know, the more that you can do, the more that you can learn how to curate and build and manage your artists or putting your music out and getting streams on your own, or whether that may be working with, you know, Dominique on what he's got going and getting playlisted and letting that grow and working with him while he's growing his thing. When you do walk into one of these offices, you'll be the one leading the conversation, not the other way around. And I say this all the time. I work for a label and I'm not pro label, but I'm also not against the label. I just want everybody who comes in to have a fair shot. And the only way you're gonna have a fair shot is if you educate yourself. You know, if you do a little bit more digging, if you pay attention to what's going on as opposed to just like, oh, scrolling past. You know, you gotta dig in and you gotta learn. You gotta know who you are before you even make any of these decisions. Because I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, it's cool that I got this story about being 18 and starting from the mailroom, but I didn't make no more money and move out the hood till I was 33.
Nah, it wasn't easy. I know it wasn't easy.
You know what I'm saying?
It takes time. It takes time.
That shit, you know, if you're in for the long haul, you got to make that commitment.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
You know, because
I'm about generational wealth and all that. That's what I'm.
It's gonna be a lot of you know, working for free, doing things that you're not getting paid for, doing things and not directly seeing the results. So, you know, if you build for that, then you build for this. But if not, then, you know, you can always do something else.
No, I don't want to. No plan B.
No plan B, man. So, Renny, question: what do you have going on? I know, you know, you're a young up and coming artist. Is this something that all of us could be looking towards, you know, with you in the future?
Quick tape. And that kind of just came about because, like he was speaking about his rollout, I'm dropping an actual album called Real Bitch Radio, and it was supposed to be dropped during the summer, but with quarantine and everything else that happened, I didn't feel like it was the proper time to release it because I wanted my rollout to be done the right way. I want to do promo tours. I want to get hands-on with the people who support me, and I want to build rapport with people who are actually consuming what I'm putting out. So I pushed that off, but I didn't want to leave people for longer with no music, no new music. So I put the quick tape out, and the feedback is really great. Like, they asking for music already. So, you know, we just staying consistent and more projects and more music out. That's like right now, that's the main focus, just staying consistent, keeping visuals out since, you know, we can't really be hands-on with people right now. That's it, like staying a part of the conversation, finding a way to stay a part of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. And I'll say, like, listen, being a manager and dealing with artists all the time, I know how protective artists are of their time. I appreciate you sitting on here for an hour with us,
Yeah.
and exchanging and sharing stories and giving that advice. Like, that's priceless. And you always welcome to come back on Free Throws. Any way I can help you with anything I got going on, you got my full support.
No,
likewise. Same.
Whenever.
Same. Same. Well, listen, we appreciate you so much. You're so dope. And, you know, you have a beautiful just spirit and personality. And I love your music. You can spit. Like, and I don't say that to everybody. So we appreciate you coming up here. And we look forward to seeing everything that you have coming down the pike. And everybody else who joined us on a free throw today, we appreciate you too. We appreciate this movement that you've been helping to create and curate with us. And, you know, please continue to like and share and let other people know that this is going on, because this is really for everybody. This has nothing to do with Wayno and I. We just feel like it's our duty and our role to really pay it forward and share what we know and bring other people on to share with you their experiences. So stay tuned every single week, Free Throw Fridays, 6 p.m. here with Wayno, and we appreciate you guys. Yeah, thanks, guys.
And listen, if any of you learned anything today, please just tell one person. That's all I ask. Just, if you felt like today was a good day, you learned something from me, you learned something from Renny, you learned something from Kenya, or any of the other artists and up-and-coming entrepreneurs that's on here, just please be like, yo, Wayno and them got something dope going on over there. Just please spread the word. That's all I ask. And another thing, while we are going through these tough times, please make sure y'all work on your mental health. Please make sure that y'all keep y'all confidence intact and y'all self-esteem, because this shit is hard. I know, you know, beyond everything that we're trying to accomplish, it's a war going on, you know, and we got to fight our fight any way we can. So, again, I appreciate y'all spending your time with me, and just please carry the word.
Yes, and stay safe and stay blessed.
Absolutely, y'all. Peace.
All right, bye.